Live from New York City, it's Candid with Terri and Keith. Today's guest is New York Times best-selling author, Teri Woods. Coming up right here on Candid. Here is Terry Patterson and Keith Perrin.
Welcome, everyone, and you're watching Candid with Terri.
And I'm Keith.
We have a great show lined up for you today, so make sure you stay tight right there.
Keep your eye right here.
Oh, what's going on?
What's happening, Terry?
You're looking pretty sharp, man.
Oh, thank you. You know, I'm trying.
You tonic?
But you look good yourself. I like those shoes.
Thank you. You know, I try.
How's your legs out and everything?
I was told that I needed to polish my toes. Don't look down. don't do a close up.
They look good.
All right.
So what we talking about today? What we got today?
Let me tell you what I learned.
What you learned?
That a man needs to make sure he gets his annual checkup. And I'm saying that because a lot of men neglect to do that. What about you? How often do you get your physical?
Every year.
Every year. You're one who's really into your health, which is important because statistics show that men don't. So, what do you tend to get checked when you go to?
Everything. No, true. I mean, just, and I've been doing this for the last, since I was about 21. So, 20-something years.
Great.
What I do is I get my blood pressure,
right.
EKG, sugar, cholesterol,
right.
AIDS test. I get it all.
Good.
I definitely make sure I get it all because you never know. You don't want to develop something that you could have prevented just by getting it checked up.
By getting that checkup. So men, make sure that you get an annual physical. It said that when you're in your 20s, HIV screening, STD, or definitely the diabetes and high blood pressure, cholesterol. Right. We know that all the way through life, right? In your 40s, pancreas screening.
Prostate,
I'm sorry, did I say pancreas? Oh, sorry. Prostate cancer screening is important. And a lot of men, especially African American men, tend to become diagnosed with that, and they could have gotten some treatment. They die from it. Actually, the numbers are high for African American men with prostate cancer.
And a lot of people, and even in the last 6 months, I've known like 10 people just die from heart attacks.
Look at that. That's another thing.
One of my good friends, his wife was 42 years old. She had a massive heart attack, and
this is a woman.
She's a woman, and she just died, and then she never came out the coma that she went into, and it's sad because she had a 4-year-old girl, 7-year-old girl, and and just like I said, a lot of people have been just passing away. Yeah, but it's important. You got. I tell you a particular story that I had one year. When I was really, really busy and we were eating out a lot, eat 3-4 o'clock in the morning, and,
late night,
and just not eating the right foods in the first place. But I gained a lot of weight. I was maybe about 220 pounds, and I went to the doctor. My sugar was high. My sugar was borderline diabetic. Wow. My cholesterol was high. My blood pressure was high. I mean, everything was. And he gave me a bunch of pills, which I hate taking pills. Right. I can't even take aspirin.
Oh my goodness.
And to give me a pill on a regular basis, I'm definitely not going to take it. But, by me just going to get checked up, I found all these things were wrong with me. So,
and how old were you then?
And I was about 30.
Wow.
I was about 30.
Yeah. So, I mean, it happens, men and women. We just want to encourage you to make sure that you get your annual checkups.
Please.
Get those screenings. They're important. And we can never think that we're too young or too old to, avoid.
I'm actually coming up on my annual now. So
okay. That's right.
Get this appointment next week.
Yeah.
Get my teeth cleaned a little bit.
That's the dentist. And it's interesting because women, we need to get mammograms after 40. And if it runs in your family, they recommend even in your early 30s, you're getting the mammogram. So, we encourage some good health around here.
Please take care of yourself. It's not a joke.
Before you can take care of anybody else.
Yep.
Might fall over and what? I don't know. But we have to take a commercial break, but we will be right back. And when we come back, Teri Woods, author Teri Woods, will be here to help us break the ice.
True to the game. Stay tuned.
Welcome back, everyone. Today's guest is an author who made her claim to fame with her first book, True to the Game. That's Teri Woods. Welcome, Teri Woods.
Hi.
Hey.
Terri.
Hi, how are
Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, yes, you're so welcome. Look, we're going to get straight to it. This is what we do here, keeping it
They
candid
got
and
pages.
candid.
I don't have pages. It's okay, go ahead. I didn't get any pages.
Well, we're going to get straight into breaking the ice.
Okay.
And your number is?
One.
Okay. Number one. I like to be number one, too. Seems like Terri wants to be number one.
One.
Okay.
Just one.
So, what impact do you think Hillary Clinton will have on us as the President of the United States?
On us?
Well, what impact do you think she will make as the President of the United States?
Oh, I think she'd make a good president of the United States. Yeah, I really do. I like the Clinton team.
Yes, I do too.
The Clintons were good. they were okay.
Mm-hmm.
I think that even when Bill was probably in office, I would imagine that, she did a lot behind the scenes that you don't even think about.
Yeah.
That's true.
And, communicating, with him.
Right.
And I would think that if she was to be the president, it'd be that same reversal,
team tag,
that same
tag
team. Right, you're getting that team.
Yeah.
And he would be behind the scenes the way she was behind the scenes, and you would still have that team Clinton.
I agree.
Yeah, I like
first
them.
female president. Hey,
Make sure Monica Lewinsky around the
You
building,
know
They
said they're gonna reverse the
Bill be
roles.
slipping sometimes. But
I'm glad to see that you're still keeping it on the man and not saying that she's gonna fall victim. Thank you.
of course. Can't beat up the ladies. There's too many ladies up here.
Okay.
All right, let me see. That was get to a juicy one for you. Nah, you know what? I'll take it. Do you like a woman who takes control in the bedroom?
Do I like it?
I love that
Well,
she was
Do you like it?
I mean,
Do you like the woman to take control in the bedroom?
Me personally, I can go there, but I'm more submissive.
Okay.
I'm more submissive.
Men like that.
I
mean, they like both.
I like the,
of course.
50-50. Sometimes I want to lay back and just,
let her do what she does.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that.
Right.
Okay, so you're from Philadelphia, and
Yes.
you were once a legal secretary, right?
Yeah.
What's it like in the world of an author for you?
The world of being an author is, well, my world is more of having my own business and being the publisher,
Okay.
as well as, authoring and co-authoring and publishing the books.
Okay.
But it's a great world. I mean, it's been a great ride, and it's had its ups and downs.
Right. Like most businesses.
We lost all the bookstores in 2010.
Right.
There's been this evolution of technology. Coming to terms with all of that.
Right.
Losing all those bookstores, losing all those lines of distribution was crazy.
Right.
So, all in all, though, I mean, it's great being an author because I can set my day. I can do what I need to do.
Kind of.
Exactly.
You're in control.
I'm in control of the days as my own business owner. And then as an author and being an independent author, I have that freedom of being able to sort of, push the envelope a little bit and write what I want to write. I don't have to answer to anybody about what I'm writing.
Which I like.
So that stuff, the freedom that I have is really good.
Right.
I like that.
Now, let me ask you another question based on what you said about having, you know what? Should we break right now?
I think it's that time.
You know what? Let's break right now.
We're going to take a break, and we'll be right back. But when we return, we're going to find out Teri's motivation to staying in the game and how she made her first $1 million. Let's find out. Stay tuned.
We're back and we're here with Teri Woods. Later on in the show, our guest will be tested on her skill of keeping it candid. Teri, now you mentioned earlier that all the stores closing, all the bookstores closing. I know a thing too about a lot of stores closing, but I want to know how it affect your business as far as you selling books and your outlet and getting your books out there.
I mean, it was just crazy. I mean, it was gone. It was unbelievable overnight.
Yeah, because right now, what you do, you sell it on your websites, or you try to.
Right now,
how does it work now for you?
Well, put it like this: where I was at, okay, when I was able to have lines of distribution, was selling anywhere from say 10,000 to 20,000 books a month.
Wow.
Right.
And distributing. So you're printing, you're shipping, and you're invoicing.
Right.
And you have lines of distribution that are going all over the place, and they're great, and everything's great, and the world was great. And I guess it was just overnight. It seemed like just overnight.
Technology came about. Like really got to another level.
Literally. Yeah. And so all those lines of distribution are gone. And it's this evolution of technology.
Yeah.
And you figure it probably started, I would say that ball started rolling, maybe 08, 09?
Yeah.
But by 10, Borders is gone,
Right.
Dalton is gone.
Right. These companies have been around for years.
You know, they're checks. Those are checks. These are big checks.
That's it.
And it's gone.
Wow.
So that was hard. And then the other thing that it was that, you know, during that time frame in 08 and 09, and even still today, I find, especially in the inner city where I was selling my books and where I know I do my numbers in urban communities, you know, some people are so disenfranchised that they can't afford
to buy
these $200 reading devices and these $500 iPads, and you know, they just don't have it.
Right.
So, in a lot of ways, that technology disenfranchised the disenfranchised.
Right. You know, that leads to my next question. And so, because I find that it appears that the urban market is saturated. You can tell me whether or not is there a lot of competition, and what do you do to stay relevant in the game? Not, you know, or I guess any author who's a nonfiction urban writer.
Okay, for urban fiction,
right?
Specific,
right?
Because that's the genre that I was pulled into. So for me, I would answer that question, and I would say the influx of all of those books came. You got to understand, when I first started, I didn't have any competition.
Right, I know.
So, you know, I had
like
True
the
to
catapult.
the Game. I had Be More Careful. The only book that was out there was The Coldest Winter Ever, and that was published.
Right.
I was all out there by myself. I had, you know, so it was a lot easier then.
Right.
When you had no distribution and you were out the trunk of the car.
Right.
It was simple.
Right.
It was easy, and it was a no-brainer.
Right.
And what it did was that hustle and going out the trunk of the car and having those years of being by myself out there created a demand for me where they had to give me those lines of distribution because everybody was looking for this book that they couldn't find because the only way you could get it was out the trunk of my car.
Right. Things definitely changed. And
things
let me
changed.
correct myself because it's catapult. I meant you were the catalyst. Like you were where it started pretty much. Yeah.
So your mom, do your kids aspire to follow in your footsteps?
With writing?
With writing?
Oh,
well, they like young, though, right?
Well, Lucas and Brandon are like 9 and 10. I'm just trying to get them to read right now. Like, can you read something, please? Like,
but with today's technology, it's more or less them on the iPad or.
I mean, but you know what? That technology's for games for them. They don't.
Yeah.
It's not about that. It's about this is the problem, as far as what I'm dealing with my boys, and it's finding them content.
Right.
And they don't have the content. 9-year-old boys don't have content that they, you know, can really grasp. I mean,
reading.
Yeah,
material.
it's hard to find content for my boys that they like, that they won't, that they won't stop reading.
No, this is true. I agree.
It's so hard.
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely know. Well, we're going to stop right there, but we are going to come right back. So stay with us with Teri Woods. We're still here with author Teri Woods, and right now we're going into Keeping It Candid, so you know what that means. So it's basically an either-or situation. So you choose which response fits you best, or which one you prefer.
Okay.
I'll take a trip to the Mediterranean, or I'll take a trip to the Himalayan mountains.
Mediterranean,
all right. Read an urban novel, or listen to some 90s, 80s hip-hop and R&B.
Listen to some 90s, 80s hip-hop R&B.
And take a break from the norm, I guess, right?
Self-sufficient but likes to work with a team, or self-sufficient and likes to work alone?
Self-sufficient and likes to work alone.
Okay. A Range Rover or a custom Cherokee? We just had this discussion off camera, but I know which one you're going to say.
I'll do the Rhino.
Okay, now this one's a little different. Love to see him sweat, or love it when he talks dirty? Sweat. Okay, I like that too.
A man who's built, fine, and travels for work, or a man who's built, attractive, and works on Wall Street?
The first one.
Travels for work.
Travels for work. Bye.
I see a break.
Bye.
I see you at home. I'll be waiting for you. Bye. Let me pack your bags.
Lord.
Bye.
All right. Thank you. We love it when our guests keep it candid.
Okay.
All right. So, want to know, everybody goes through some hard times every once in a while. So, what was your absolute lowest point in your life?
Lowest point prior to the stores closing or before the stores closed?
Your lowest point. Maybe that one that's most memorable to you.
My lowest point was probably around 1995, 96. And I was working 2 jobs. And I had been in this really bad relationship, and he was jealous of my book. So I had put my book in the closet, and I was working at a law firm from 8 to 4, and then I would go clean office buildings from 5 to 12. And then I would walk home, and I had a homeless guy named Stevie that I would cook dinner for every night. So I probably wouldn't get to bed until like 2 o'clock in the morning. But the relationship that I had been in that was probably my lowest, because I lost everything. Wow. I literally lost everything. And it was hard to build everything back up from that.
You're a very strong woman, though. So
yeah, but that was a hard one, and he was, he eventually committed suicide. Well, he eventually killed himself. So, and I was being stalked, and he had been arrested several times for stalking me, and even the law firm that I worked in, I remember they would walk me like 2 or 3 blocks away from the building.
Right. Just so
I could get there.
Right.
But they would send Stephen Bongard, the private investigator, to walk me away from the premises.
Right. Something.
Yeah, that was the low part. Was, like I said, it was just so hard building from it all and losing everything and going through that. Yeah, that
sounds like that's a lot.
It was hard.
That was hard.
Really quick before we break, what's your biggest pet peeve?
About myself or about other people?
About other people.
They get on my nerves sometimes.
Why? What would make them get on your nerves?
Yes.
Let me think. You know what? I would say probably my brother Chucky Booker would be my biggest pet peeve, because he will come in he knows that I have compulsive disorders, and that everything has to be in the place. Like, I didn't see anything wrong with sleeping with the enemy. Like, you can't do that. You can't coordinate the cans. You have nothing to do all day.
Right.
You can't fix the towel.
Right.
So I'm like that. And, you know, my brother will literally come in my house and take the spoons and put them where the forks are.
Okay.
And take the forks and put them where, like, do stuff like that to me. And
he knows it's gonna
unfluff my pillows.
Right.
Just purposely, I think he does that kind of stuff.
Right.
That's a pet peeve. I don't, you know what? Just fix the pillow when you get up, please.
I
don't need to know where you sit.
Right.
Well, let us know. That's interesting. Let us know if you have what you have coming up. What should we expect from Teri Woods?
Well, I am dying now, like, really, to get films done for my books. And I want my whole collection done. And I think that with the recent success of Power and Empire, all of that hoopla, like, everybody had a problem with urban fiction.
Right. But now look,
But they watching Empire. And they watching Power.
Right. And everybody's watching.
I mean, how many times can you take a book and rewrite a book? Like, what are y'all reading over? Why don't I just send you some more books so you can keep reading and keep doing your shows? Right? Yeah, it's great. I love it. Yeah. Really? Yeah. So, the nice part is there's original content that has not been explored. So then it's time to explore that original content. And then, of course, I just did my first children's book. Yeah, really exciting. So the best I can be. And it's a 5-book series. So I've already written the 5 books. I just now have to publish each book.
Okay, good. Thank you so much, Teri, for coming on.
Thank you.
It was a pleasure to have you. And you know what time it is. It's time for us to say goodbye. But we thank you for watching. This is Candid with Teri and Keith. We'll see you next time.
All right. Peace out.